Hello, everybody. Welcome to Unity with Pam TV Show. We are here at Columbus Hospice on Moon Road. I thank so many of you for taking time out of your schedule and being a part with us today. There's going to be so much going on. You're going to have a great time. And I'm going to go ahead and let Chaplain Muriel Pitts give us the invocation.
Thank you. Please join me in prayer. Most merciful God, thank you for all that you are. Thank you for today and for life abundantly. With joy, we gather in this place seeking your presence, invoking your presence to be with us and to remain with us during this time. God, we present ourselves at the start of this edition of the Pam TV Show in hopes that you will reveal yourself in our midst as we collaborate and as we share the great resources in our community. Help us to open our hearts and our minds that we may become the people of service that you've called us to be. Let the Spirit guide. Let the Spirit enlighten. Fill us with your love and joy and help us to put our plans and what we gain today into action. We give thanks in your great name. Amen.
Amen. Now we will have a welcome by Mike Smythe, who is the president and CEO of Columbus Hospice.
Thank you, Pam. Welcome, everybody, to our hospice house here on Moon Road. Columbus Hospice, we are the community hospice. We've been serving the Columbus, Phoenix City area for over 30 years now, and we appreciate you coming today. And just a few quick things about hospice. I think, believe it or not, after all these years and after our presence here in this location for over 12 years, I think there's still a lot of misconceptions about what is hospice. And we often find that people will call us and say, you've got this beautiful place there on Moon Road. I'm really stressed out. I'm really tired. I'm taking care of my family member, and I'd like them to come there to the hospice house so I could take a break. Then we tell them, of course, we'd be happy to do that. But you have to be a hospice patient. I think there's some misconception that this wonderful facility we have here can do things that really are not possible for us. Hospice is for those patients who are very sick, for people who have a life expectancy of 6 months or less if the disease runs its normal course. And that's language that's right out of the Medicare rules that we have to go by. And I think sometimes that's lost in the fact. On the other hand, what we don't want to do is we don't feel we're doing good quality end-of-life care if we're trying to care for people who are literally on their deathbed. And we've seen patients come from the hospital in an ambulance, come through the front door, and literally they're leaving this world by the time they get to the room here in our facility. So that's not good hospice care. So there's a happy medium there, and we just want people to know that we're here, we're available. We can offer a lot for families. When you walk down the road of a terminal illness with your loved one, it's a very, very challenging and trying and emotional time. The support that we offer is just not physical support for the patient. We do offer the emotional, psychological, and spiritual support for our families as well. So there's a lot of help there. There's daily physical help for these patients that we can offer, and we just want folks to know that just call us and we'll help you walk through all of those issues and figure it out. And again, welcome and thanks for coming today.
Now we will hear from our great mayor of the city of Columbus. I want to call her a sister, and I can. A sister who cracked the glass ceiling. Yes, she did. Our Mayor Teresa Thomason, Columbus, Georgia.
Well, thank you. It's such a great honor to be with you. I tell you, one of the greatest honors I've ever had in life is being mayor of this great city. Our future lies before us. Even though we may have a hill to climb or two, the city has gotten broader. It's gotten more inclusive. Our opportunities have multiplied. And I wake up every day excited about the future of this city. We're headed into a whole new era, and Columbus is going to be one of the most ideal places to live in the country. And I'm not just pumping it up. That really, I can see that vision for this city. And I also want to thank Pam. You have been at this for a long time now. And one of the things I was sharing with one of the ladies who's going to be speaking in a minute, one of the first times I ever met Pam, she said, well, I have this show, and you need to come. And I thought, oh, well, isn't that sweet? She's got a little show. And I came and I walked into that room. It was one I think he had over at Maple Ridge. There must have been 300 people in that room. And there were people from Atlanta and Birmingham and Macon and all over. And people mentioned it to me for weeks and weeks afterwards that they saw that particular show. And so this message that is given here, the information that is shared here, goes out to a much larger audience. And Pam, we thank you for bringing these issues to the forefront so we can discuss them and get information out to the community. One of the things we're here celebrating today is, of course, our veterans. Monday is when we'll formally celebrate Veterans Day. Of course, on Saturday we've got the big parade downtown at 10 o'clock and hope to see you all there to celebrate those who selflessly give of themselves, who so bravely run toward danger so the rest of us have the luxury of taking cover. And isn't that a luxury indeed? And it takes a bravery, it takes a fortitude, it takes a commitment to this country and freedom that is admirable. And it would be so wonderful to see you all there at the parade and hopefully in your own way thank a veteran. Speaking of veterans, just to segue into where we are today and learning more about Columbus Hospice, my father-in-law, Tony, is a World War II veteran. Yes, and he is 92 years old, and he suffers from a terminal illness that we all suffer from, time. And we're all going to get there, God willing. We're all going to get there, and it's a journey. But about a year ago, Tony was in the hospital with one of the many ailments that if you God willing, live long enough, just going to come up. And they didn't think he had very long, and so they referred us to Columbus Hospice. And Mike, the treatment that we received, the dignity, the comfort, was just so fantastic. But in his true World War II spirit, Tony wasn't ready to go. And Tony's still kicking. So, matter of fact, I'm going to circle by and see Tony when I leave here. He doesn't live too terribly far from here with my mother-in-law, Fran, and just stop by to say hello. So hospice does many, many things for you. Columbus Hospice not only takes you through that journey, that heart-wrenching journey of losing a loved one and that process, but there's also that room for the times where hope is possible. That there is more life to enjoy and more time to spend together. And so, Mike, you and your team, I thank you so very much for what you do. You really transitioned us in to another additional chapter that we didn't think we had. It may not have had under traditional care, but hospice gave us that opportunity to let him get to a new foundation, a new base. And if he was here today, he'd give you a piece of his mind about all kinds of things. So with that, I'm going to say, again, thank you for coming. Thank you, Columbus Hospice, for what you do. Veterans, family members of veterans, thank you so much for your service to this country and for your participation in our Columbus community where our military and our non-military citizens are seamlessly interwoven into one community. Thank you all. Again, I'm so very proud to be the mayor of Columbus, Georgia, and thank you for being here.
Unity with Pam Willis-Hovey is being brought to you by these sponsors.
When you've been hurt in an accident, it helps to have experienced and knowledgeable attorneys to help you in your time of need. For over 30 years, our office has been helping victims in auto and truck accidents or with work-related injuries. We resolve thousands of cases both in and out of court. So if you've been hurt and it wasn't your fault, talk to Walt.
Talk to Walt.
Habla con Walt.
Talk to Walt.
For more than 60 years, the Dairy Queen recipe for success has been simple. It's been a combination of hardworking people, great tasting food, and tempting treats served in our establishments every day. Although a lot has changed in 60 years, some things remain the same. The smiles on children's faces, a treat for a good report card, close friends enjoying a great meal, and families spending quality time together. Here at DQ, we are always committed to treat you right.
Why Chalmers?
We manage the details so that businesses don't have to. Our expert consultants understand the individual needs of all of our clients.
We're here for you.
It's great to have the business support of Chalmers. They handle my bookkeeping, payroll, and collections. Now I have more time to dedicate to my customers.
Your success is our success.
With affordable rates for payroll, bookkeeping, collection, and IT services, Chalmers can ease the stress of running a business.
Chalmers Support Services. What you can't do, we can.
Welcome you to be a part of our ministry. This is not a put on, but this is a come on. And we come to share in our different ministries with our dance team, with our choir, and our TV ministry. And we're looking for great things to happen, great miracles to happen within this great thing to happen, great miracles to happen within this place. Come and be a part of the blessing plan.
Now we honor veterans from Terry Roberts.
Well, I can still officially say good morning. My name is Terry Roberts. I'm the Director of Volunteer Services here at Columbus Hospice. And first, I just want to say we're always looking for volunteers. So any opportunity I can get the word out, if anybody's interested, just please come and see me afterwards. But I'm here, and I feel privileged to talk about a program we have, which is We Honor Veterans. And what we do is all of our patients who are veterans, we do a pinning ceremony and give them a certificate. And since we started this program, we have honored 95 of our hospice patients who are veterans. And I just wanted to share just a short list of some of these special heroes and what they have done and accomplished. We have honored a Master Sergeant who was a nurse in World War II and the Korean War, veterans of the Gulf War, men and women, a recipient of the Victory Medal in World War II, a World War II Air Force pilot who flew his friend's body back home after being killed in combat, a recipient of the Purple Heart, a command sergeant major who enlisted on October 11, 1938, served his country in World War II, Korea, and the Vietnam Wars before retiring on July 3, 1971, and his family said that the military was everything to him. And lastly, a sergeant major who received 30 decorations, including the Silver Star and the Master Combat Parachutist Badge with a Gold Star, indicating that he had leapt into battle 5 times during his 32-year military career. So these men and women are truly our heroes. So we feel so privileged to be able to honor them. And we're always looking also for enlisted military who would help us with the pinnings. So thank you. Yes. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Well, I will see you directly after this. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to have caregiver testimony by Denise McQueen.
Hello. My name is Denise McQueen, and today I'm here to tell you about Columbus Hospice and how they've helped my mom and myself. The services, they help to ease the family and the caregiver stress. All the staff and the administrators are very wonderful people. They really care for your loved ones. You and your family are cared for all at the same time. It's shown by love. Love is an expression that we all have and given by God. Excuse me. If you have God in your life, you have everything. If you go through trials and tribulations, you have everything with God. That's all you need. I thank God. I thank the Columbus Hospice and everyone for their continued caregiving of my mom, Miss Mary, and for showing love for everyone, including my dog, Brownie. Okay. He's a Chihuahua, and he's about 18 pounds now. Thank you very much for all your kindness, all your professionalism, and for making us feel so very special in all the times, especially the tough times. Thank you for what all you've done and all what you may do in the future. And God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
Now we're going to have Columbus, Phoenix City Investors Association, Mr. Mike Turner.
There's only one correction. I wish we were investors. We're not. It's Inventors Association. It's a little bit different. But I want to, well, first of all, good morning, everybody. I appreciate being here this morning. As you know, God woke me up this morning to make me see another day. He also allowed me to see our president get reelected. And I mention that because Barack Obama has been doing a lot for inventors. He has set up some committees. He has set up some programs where people like yourselves, if you're interested in inventing something, he has set aside some funding for banks, investors, angel investors to work very closely with us as an individual to be able to get our ideas and our patents out into the marketplace. But let me give you a little bit of background of the Inventors Association. The name of our organization is called Columbus Phoenix City Inventors Association. We are a nonprofit educational association. We meet every month in Columbus, and I don't live in Columbus. I live in Smith Station, but I'm thinking about moving to Columbus. That's because of the wonderful things that you've been doing in Columbus. I do all my business. I do all my shopping, me and my wife, in Columbus. So we might consider relocating. But what we do is we share with people when they have an idea in their minds, and some of you may have thought about some new inventions, some new procedures, some new equipment that you feel is not in the marketplace, but your idea is good. Give an example. Some of you ladies, you may have been going to get your hair done. They're using various equipment on your hair, but you think there's a better way or there's a different piece of equipment that can be used, but you just don't know where to go to get that idea down on paper. What our association does, we meet every month in one of the libraries. Our workshops are free, and what we encourage people to do is to think about what their idea is and to also get it down on paper. They can sketch it with a rough pencil and paper, and what we do is we show them how to get that thought out to be a much more concrete particular product. One of the things I want to stress is that if you have an idea, the most important thing that you must do, and that is research. A lot of people think they got the best idea in the world, but in reality, that product is already out in the marketplace. So what a lot of people have done was they've spent a lot of money, we're talking about thousands of dollars, thinking that their idea is the only idea out there. Come to find out that they spent all this money, and then they find out that the product is already out in the marketplace. But what we do is we take the idea down on paper, we actually get them into a prototype, and we also work with them to get the necessary paperwork to file for a patent. So we do all the required steps along with the individual so that they can get their product in the marketplace, and we help them do that. We have contacts with manufacturers. We have contacts that were able to put your product into a 3D application because that's what the manufacturers need to make a prototype for you. So it's very important to do the research. Now here's another thing that comes up. A lot of people are afraid to tell other people what their idea is. Has any of you had that kind of experience? Okay, well, don't tell anybody, but what we do is there is a way that you can tell somebody what your product is without telling them what your product is. Okay, and we teach that during our workshops. So it's very important that if you have an idea, don't sit on it, don't forget it, because who knows? You could be the next Mrs. Steve Jobs or the next maybe vice president or somebody, but you got to work towards that, and our organization helps you in the process. So again, we meet every month at the library, or one of the libraries. Our next meeting is December 15th at the Columbus Public Library. We meet 10:30 in the morning. Bring your suggestions, bring your ideas. Don't tell us what it is, but we show you how to tell us what it is so nobody can steal it. And one last thing. One of the things that Barack Obama has done during this year was to allow us to be able to patent a product. And what it's called is first to file, not first to patent. There's a big difference. So, for example, if somebody has a similar idea as you and you guys talk about it, well, the first one to file it is the one that's going to own that patent, not the one that patents it, the one that files first. So that's something new that helps us as an individual to get our product secure so nobody else can steal it. And we talk a lot more about this at our meeting. So by all means, come on out, get your ideas to think about, and we can help you. And one last thing. You've heard what Teresa has said. You've heard what the beautiful young lady said about Hospice House. I thought about Hospice House about 2 years ago. Didn't know what it was. But I figured, let me come and, check it out. I saw the way that the nurses had treated the patients. I saw the atmosphere that was here at the Hospice House. And I just fell in love with the Hospice House. And because of that, I am a volunteer. I volunteer every week, and I look forward to waking up every morning to come here. I volunteer 1 day a week, and it's just a joy for me to come out here. We treat the patients very nice. We're caring. We're loving towards the patients, and it's just a beautiful atmosphere. So if anybody in here is thinking about volunteering, if you got a few minutes, maybe an hour or two to volunteer, come and just take a tour and just see for yourself. And after you do that, I'm quite sure you're going to volunteer. All right. Thank you very much for your time.
Unity with Pam Willis-Hovey is being brought to you by these sponsors.
Come into Chester's Barbecue for our world-famous mouth-watering ribs, smoked fresh on our grill daily. Or try one of our barbecue pork plates with fresh sides. Chester's has delicious sandwich combos to choose from that are sure to please. We also serve tempting home-cooked favorites. And don't forget to take home your own bottle of great sauce. Chester's Barbecue, serving the best food at the best price, with 3 locations to serve you.
You love your parents, and it's hard to see them struggle to keep their independence. Magnolia Manor can give your parents the assistance they need to enjoy life. You won't have to worry if they are eating well or taking their medications properly. And they'll be in a safe, secure environment with no need to worry about cleaning house or doing yard work. Visit magnoliamanor.com to learn more. Magnolia Manor, just down the road. A community of convenience, caring, and fun.
My name is Japal. 2 years ago, I received a kidney transplant. When I was 21 years old, I started dialysis, and for 7.5 years, I was a patient receiving treatments 3 times a week for 4 hours each session. And man, it was hard. After receiving my kidney transplant, I was able to find and marry the love of my life. My kidney transplant gave me my life back.
You have the power to donate life. Be an organ, eye, and tissue donor. To find out how, go today to donatelifegeorgia.org.
When Bill Larson's brakes started squeaking. When Pam Summers' check engine light went on. And before Tom headed out on vacation. They all came here. Midas. Total car care. Total customer care. That's the Midas touch.
Enrichment Services is giving a young child in our community a head start on kindergarten. Enrichment Services is providing a nutritious meal for senior citizens. Enrichment Services, a host of educational and assistance programs to benefit all ages.
Now we will have behavioral health, Dr. Rosalind Miller.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rosalind Miller. I'm the Director of Behavioral Health Services at Valley Healthcare System. I'm a clinical psychologist. I specialize in treating particularly children and adolescents with severe trauma in their history. I'm a transplant. I grew up in Germany, and more recently I transplanted from Chicago. And I chose Columbus specifically, this area, because of how many children here are underserved, particularly psychologically. And when I was asked to build a behavioral health department at Valley Healthcare System, I loved it because it gave me the challenge to build something from scratch that wasn't available yet. Now we have services that include play therapy, trauma-specific therapy, EMDR, which is neurologically based. We have couples therapy, individual and adult, several groups. I brought information on all those things. For those of you who are not familiar with Valley Healthcare System, our vision there is really a very exciting one of bringing quality health care to the communities that need it the most. We recently relocated to the south side on Fort Benning Road. We have a beautiful 33,000 square foot state-of-the-art clinic. We have an open house coming up that everyone's invited to on November 18th, and it's such a joy to see our patients oftentimes walking in because they might not have a car or miss their ride that day, and coming into a facility that is beautiful, that honors them as individuals, that treats them with dignity and in order, and enables them to really have the treatment that they and their children deserve. And so that's kind of our mission, our purpose, and my passion in building the services there. So I invite you to come out on the 18th. It's a Sunday afternoon from 3 to 5. We'll have free food and drinks, and you get to tour the facility and meet all of our staff. We have, let me think now, we're just adding services. We have 3 family physicians. We have a pediatric department. We have optometry and dental services. We have a pharmacy, behavioral health, and we're looking to add women's health. So we're wanting to make a one-stop shop where families can come, spend the day if they need to, get all of their medical needs taken care of, and then either be taken home or ride home. So I invite you to come out and see the facility. And thanks for this opportunity, Pam.
Welcome you to be a part of our ministry. This is not a put on, but this is a come on. And we come to share in our different ministries with our dance team, with our choir, and our TV ministry. And we're looking for great things to happen, great miracles to happen within this great thing to happen, great miracles to happen within this place. Come and be a part of the blessing plan.
When you've been hurt in an accident, it helps to have experienced and knowledgeable attorneys to help you in your time of need. For over 30 years, our office has been helping victims in auto and truck accidents or with work-related injuries. We resolve thousands of cases both in and out of court. So if you've been hurt and it wasn't your fault, talk to Walt.
Talk to Walt.
Habla con Walt.
Talk to Walt.
Enrichment Services is giving a young child in our community a head start on kindergarten. Enrichment Services is providing a nutritious meal for senior citizens. Enrichment Services, a host of educational and assistance programs to benefit all ages.